What's up guys, I'm J-Dubb and today I'm going to teach you how to put your repeater on solar and cover a pretty broad area depending on your terrain. Guys, you got to remember your terrain is key on this. If you live in the mountains like I do, then you better put that repeater on top of the mountain. If you live on the flat ground, as long as you can get above the tree line, you're gonna have a pretty good repeater, so remember that. But we've got an area that we are getting ready to start camping at, cleaning up, doing some work up there. We're gonna be spending a lot more time up there, and there's no cell coverage. There's no way for me and my wife to keep in contact with each other. There's no way for my wife and us to keep in contact with her grandparents at the base of the hill. There's really no way for any of us to keep in contact other than mainline telephone. Well, when we're on the mountain, mainline telephone doesn't work anymore. So we're gonna take one of these extra repeaters that I have. We're gonna throw it on top of the mountain. Now, we can't have anything with a lot of power draw because I don't really feel like spending $2,000–3,000 worth of batteries. But we do want a good, reliable source that uses low power. That's where the Midland MXR10 comes in. It is a good repeater, puts out about 6 watts, which not a lot of power, but I'm only needing to cover about 3 to 4 miles. So that should work pretty good. The repeater should be at about 2,900 feet. Where we are going to be at should be right around that 1,000-foot mark. All right, guys, so I've kind of illustrated this for you so you can kind of see what we're dealing with for our repeater. So we have our house here, and these little circles are our camps. So from this house, we can talk to this camp. We can talk back and forth to this camp. You know, all these work good. We have a camp on this side of the mountain though. Well, we can't talk this way because the mountain's in our way. This one might be able to get it because he's kind of close to the top of the mountain, but still not. But with the repeater, now we can come up, talk, and this one will come down and talk. This will link the rest of us, plus we have another house on this side of the mountain, which will now be able to talk. All these will be able to talk back and forth. This is kind of the reason we're putting this repeater up. This is several thousand acres that we're trying to cover, but it's really not a very big area when you look at it. It's a mountain, so there's a lot of acreage there, but not a lot of land. So if we can cover all this, I think the farthest part will be from here to this house, which is 7 miles. But we routinely talk from the top of the mountain with a 1/2 watt handheld. So I don't think that'll be an issue. Now, this should work really well. This is kind of the reason we're putting this repeater up, and I wanted to kind of illustrate how this was all going to work and how we're doing this. I'm not expecting this repeater to go out and talk 100 miles out to here. I'm not. This is one of the highest mountains in the area though, so it should have really good coverage. There's a major town over here, there's a major town way over here, and there's a major town here, and on this side of the mountain there's another major town. So I think this one's like 30 miles. I think this is like 35 miles. This one is about 18 miles. And this one I think is less than 10 miles away. So there should be a lot of areas that might be able to listen to this repeater. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. So we should have plenty of height, plenty of elevation, no real issues. This repeater I believe will work perfect for that. And I'm going to show you how we did it. Let's go. All right. There's the boat. If you want to see me working on that, stay tuned. Maybe we'll throw some videos up of that. So we have made it out here to the house. This is our temporary flagpole setup right here. And this is the entire repeater build. I mean, it's not very big when you look at it. This is the box that I used off of another build. I had this laying around. But this is our MXR10. The best part about the MXR10 is they don't use a lot of wattage. I think it is 23 watts. I believe that comes out to about 3 amps. Don't correct me on the math on that. I didn't actually do the math yet. But that is what this thing runs off of. Real simple. This whole unit is DC power. There's no AC at all to it. And the nice thing is that the MXR10 comes with a DC plug. So you could cut these wires and run it to the fuse panel. I'm probably not going to do that because, like I said, this is more of a temporary setup. So, we did it as a temporary build. And come over here. This is our Morse code setup. So this is the board that my buddy builds. Now you have this wire comes into your Raspberry Pi. You have your sound that comes back and forth, back into the unit. And then you have this cable that plugs directly in right down here. Hope you can see that. And the cool thing about this is, I mean, your Raspberry Pi only uses like, I forget what it was, a watt or two, even with the fan running all the time. I think it was 1 to 2 watts is what it was bouncing between when we did the watt testing on this. So this thing doesn't use any power. You can see right here, put everything in clear boxes so we could easily look at it. But we've got 14.5 coming in, our battery is full, and we're showing a load symbol. So these are our solar panels coming in. This is our battery coming out. So our solar panels coming this way, up into the box, coming through the bottom side of your switch, coming out, and then back to your solar panels, which are down there. We'll go look at those here in a second. This other side, this is where your battery charge is going to come from. So your charge is going to come down. Guys, these setups are easy to do. Anyone can do it. Just make sure you check your wire gauges. But look at this little thing. I mean, look how small it is. Do I have my phone? No, I don't have my phone on me. But I mean, it's so small. And it's like, I think 5 or 6 pounds. Not bad for a, how many watts was this? So this is a 307 watt hour battery. So I've already done a test with this where we check it out and we play with it, and we left it unhooked from solar for 2 days with this thing keying up every so often. We had it on a Zello channel where people were talking back and forth, and it did fine. Like I said, went 3 days and didn't hurt anything. The battery never went dead. And come down here, I had an extra little shunt laying around, so I threw that on there. It's just a real quick reference of how the battery is doing. But this is what it looks like, and it works really well. You know, make sure you put your fuses and stuff where you need to go. Little tidbit, if you're going to mess with electrical, and you put it in a site way away from everything, leave you some fuses. This is your switch to kill your solar. So let's say we need to work on the system and I don't want power coming in, I can put that in there. Or if I receive more than 16 amps coming into it, the whole system will trip. The battery side will still work, but there will be no more solar input. So that worked really nicely. This is just kind of a quick little review of it, little show and tell of what it looks like. This is going to work pretty good. Once we get it up on the mountain, I'll do a video showing you the full install of it up there. Like I said, right now we're just testing it, make sure everything's going to work good. We didn't show you the solar panels. Now, they are not in the sun right now. They're not. They're just sitting here off to the side of the house, and they're working fine. We've got 200 watt hours of solar. When we originally tested this, I tested it with 100 watt hour, or just a 100 watt panel. It did fine. I did the 200 watts because where I want to put it at, you know, the sun will rise on the east, so it'll catch that one panel, and then it'll set on the other side of the mountain, which was the west, so it'll catch on that side of the mountain. So I shouldn't have any problem with solar. This battery may be getting switched out. Honestly, I don't think we're gonna need to though. I think this is gonna be all the columns we need now, unless we get a lot of people wanting to use this repeater. I'm debating whether we're gonna leave it up all the time, take it up and down. Just really depends. We'll have to see what we want to do, how difficult it is to do it. Now, I do want to show you what this repeater sounds like, and there is a small issue, and it comes from that battery. If I change the system to a lead acid battery, the problem goes away. But using the lithium batteries, if you don't know, a lot of those have a BCM in them, which is a battery control module built into it. And that thing is producing all kinds of noise. Now, is it a big issue? Not really. It's really not. There's a little static on the M.R.S code, but with the radio talking back and forth, there's no static. And right now I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna walk in the other room, and y'all are gonna hear this.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is WRJ544 doing a radio repeater test.
So as you can see, that comes through. It's super crystal clear. I'll try to catch it with the M.R.S code here in a second. I'm not really sure when it's going to beacon next, but I'll let you know, and I'll let you hear it. That way you can kind of hear what the static sounds like. Like I said, there it is. Oh, worked out pretty good. There is static on the Morse code. Like I said, if you switch that to a lead acid battery, that thing is crystal clear. Sounds awesome, but I don't have another lead acid battery laying around that we can use this project or do on this project. So we're going to try to get by with the lithium. If I need to, we're going to test out different lithium batteries, and hopefully they won't have those same issues, but we will see. All right, guys, so if you like the products that we use in this video, I'll go ahead and I'll link our Amazon store down below. It doesn't cost you guys a dime, but it does give us a small commission. Helps us out, helps us to keep making videos like this. These things are not cheap. It does cost us a good bit to do this. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, go ahead, hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and like always, take someone outdoors.